Hi all, in today's session we are going to learn about the physiology of hearing. So, hearing, we all know that ear is the one of the five sensory organs for our body and which is helping for hearing. And other than hearing, the main function of ear is to maintain the balance of body. So, coming to the structure of ear, human ear comprises three main sections. They are the outer ear, middle ear, and the inner ear. This external ear is composed of three parts: pinna, external auditory canal, and tympanum. And the middle ear consists of three parts: ear ossicles and eustachian tube. There are three ear ossicles we can see in our middle ear of humans. They are malleus, incus, and stapes. And coming to the parts of inner ear is composed of three parts: semicircular canals, vestibule, and cochlea. Now we will see the detailed explanation of each part of the ear. So we already said that the external ear, there are three main parts in external ear, that is pinna, external auditory canal. Okay, so what is pinna? Pinna is the outermost part and it has very fine hairs and glands. These glands will secrete a wax and these wax will protect foreign organisms and dust from entering to inside the ear. And this pinna collect vibrations in the ear which produces the sound. And next part of the external ear is the external auditory canal, or it is also known as meatus. This external auditory canal is connected to pinna at the outer side and extends till tympanic membrane or eardrum. These external auditory canals also have wax glands. And the next part of the external ear is the tympanum, or it's also known as eardrum. And this tympanum or eardrum is made up of connective tissue. The skin covers the outer portion and from inside it is covered by mucous membrane. The tympanic membrane separates the outer ear from the middle ear. So here we can see the parts of ear in this diagram. Here we can see how ear is divided into outer, middle, and inner ear. So external ear is composed of pinna, external auditory canal, and the tympanum. Next, coming to the middle ear. This middle ear consists of ear ossicles and eustachian tube. These ear ossicles are a chain of three tiny bones. They are malleus, incus, and stapes. They are present in the same order. That is, we can see malleus first, then incus, and innermost stapes. So what is malleus? Malleus is a hammer-shaped bone attached to the tympanic membrane, and incus is an anvil-shaped bone present between the malleus and stapes. The stapes is the smallest bone of the body. In our human body, what is the smallest bone? It's the stapes, which can be seen in the middle ear. And this stapes is stirrup-shaped and attached to the oval window of the cochlea. And the next part of the middle ear is the eustachian tube. And this eustachian tube is the connection between the middle ear and the pharynx. It equalizes the pressure between the middle ear and the outer atmosphere. Since this eustachian tube is connecting middle ear and pharynx, that's why when we apply any drops in the ear, we can taste that drop. Why? Because the eustachian tube is connected between the ear and the pharynx. Because of this eustachian tube, we are tasting the droplets which we have applied in the ear. Okay. Next, coming to the inner ear. The inner ear is also called the labyrinth, and this inner ear is composed of a group of interconnected canals and sacs. The membranous labyrinth is present inside the bony labyrinth and surrounded by a fluid known as perilymph. The endolymph is filled within the membranous labyrinth. Auditory receptors are located in the cochlea, and vestibular apparatus maintains the body balance. This bony labyrinth or the inner ear is split into three sections. They are semicircular canals, vestibules, and the cochlea. First, we'll discuss about the cochlea. Cochlea is also known as auditory organ. It is a coiled portion of the membranous labyrinth which looks like a snail. This cochlea is made up of three canals: upper vestibular canal or scala vestibuli, middle cochlear duct or scala media, and the lower tympanic canal or scala tympani, which are separated by thin membranes. The racemous membrane separates scala media and scala vestibuli. The scala media is filled with endolymph and contains the auditory organ, the organ of Corti. Hair cells are present in the basilar membrane which separates scala media from the scala tympani. The next part of the inner ear is the vestibular apparatus. This vestibular apparatus is known as the equilibrium organ because it maintains the equilibrium of our human body, and vestibule of the ear maintains the equilibrium and is all present above the cochlea. It is present in the membranous labyrinth. It has two sac-like chambers called saccule and utricule and three semicircular canals. This saccule and utricule have macula which is a projecting ridge. Okay. So this macula has hair cells which are sensory and stereocilia protrude out from the hair cells. Next part is the semicircular canals, and this semicircular is a part of vestibular apparatus, and this semicircular is filled with endolymph and present at the right angle to each other and connects to the utricle. The base of canal is swollen and known as the ampulla. Crista ambularis is present in each of the ampulla and responsible for sensing angular rotation, and this crista ampullaris has hair cells. In these pictures we can see the different parts of the inner ear. So what are all the different parts of the inner ears are cochlea, semicircular canals, ampullae, utricle, vestibule, saccule, and cochlear nerve, vestibular nerve, temporal bone, etc. So next come to the physiology of hearing. What is physiology of hearing? In physiology of hearing, we will be discussing how we are hearing, how the sound waves are entering inside the ear and how it helps in hearing. Okay, so we know that ear performs two main functions. They are hearing and equilibrium maintenance. The organ of Corti present in the cochlea is responsible for hearing function, and macule and cristae are responsible for static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium respectively. So coming to the mechanism of hearing, we can see that first the pinnae, that is the part of the external ear, receives the sound waves and it reaches the tympanic membrane through the meatus. And the eardrum or the tympanic membranes, after receiving the sound wave, it starts to vibrate, and these vibrations get transmitted to the three ossicles, that is malleus, incus, stapes present in the middle ear. These three ear ossicles amplify the sound wave. This amplified sound waves then reaches the perilymph or scala vestibuli through the oval window. Then the pressure waves get transferred to the endolymph of scala media and reach basilar membrane and then to perilymph of scala tympani. This movement of fluid is facilitated by the round window present at the end of scala tympani, and the basilar membrane movement causes rubbing of stereocilia against the tectorial membrane. These stereocilia are bent, resulting in the opening of ion channels in the plasma membrane of hair cells. Glutamate, which is a neurotransmitter, is released due to the calcium ion movement inside the cell. These neurotransmitters binds to the receptors of afferent neurons which synapse with hair cells, causing depolarization of the neurons. A nerve impulse is generated and transmitted to the auditory cortex of the brain through the auditory nerve. The brain analyzes the impulses and we hear the sound. The brain not only recognizes the sound but also judges the direction, loudness and pitch of the sound. So come to the conclusion. Now we discussed about the Physiology of Hearing, in which we studied about the structure of ear, that is the parts of external ear, middle ear and inner ear, and the functions of each parts of the ear, and then we discussed the mechanism of hearing. Okay, so what are all the parts of ear or structure of ear? External ear is the external part of the ear, and which is composed of pinna, external auditory canal and tympanum, and the middle ear has 3 ear ossicles and an eustachian tube. The ear ossicles are malleus, incus and stapes, and the second part is the eustachian tube, and the inner ear is composed of semicircular canals, vestibule and cochlea. Then we discuss the mechanism of hearing, or how the brain analyzes the impulse and how we hear the sound. Okay, so that's all for today's section. Thank you.